The advancements in AI-enabled technology are presenting new opportunities for state and local leaders to bring more impactful change to the communities they serve. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and here to talk to us today about integrating AI into state government operations is Tunya Smith, Director of the Office of Civil Rights at North Carolina's Department of Transportation. Tunya, thank you so much for joining us. And I'd like to start by asking, can you talk about the value that AI and more modern technology are adding to North Carolina's Department of Transportation's mission and how the agency serves its communities?
Yes, definitely. I'm glad to be here. NCDOT is exploring ways to utilize AI and cloud-based applications to build powerful data tools to advance transportation equity and serve North Carolina's diverse communities. Now, historically, the Department of Transportation has been involved in advancing technology to help us build highways. Artificial intelligence is not well defined and is still in its infancy. NCDOT is experimenting with artificial intelligence, but certainly we are using new technologies across NCDOT to make our people more efficient, more productive, and improve the products and services we provide. Really, advanced technologies can greatly aid equity leaders by making transportation more accessible, providing analytics and visualization that make data digestible, aggregate multiple data points, and offers solutions to complex challenges. But also using AI and the suite of AI services is great to expand something really important for our traveling public, and that's expanding language access, which is so critical for diverse communities and travelers on the North Carolina public transportation system. This can be achieved through AI, machine learning, and large language models, advanced interpretation services or devices, and to also have public areas outfitted with these capabilities, such as airports, public transportation. You know, these technologies also really expand the voice of diverse communities. For instance, we're using sentiment and analytics, which captures opinions and searches and trends from cloud applications, where traditional surveys and post-event assessments lack. This tool provides real-time data from prompts and at mentions and catchphrases and key search terms. But that's how we're really utilizing this to serve our mission and, most importantly, North Carolina's diverse communities.
So we're hearing more conversations around mission activities that are centered around building better community resilience. So how do you see AI-enabled technology helping agencies integrate more powerful data tools and dashboards and visualization to really inform decision-making?
Right, great question. Community resilience is so important. So around those mission center activities, NCDOT uses a lot of technology in our core mission and in parts of the department that support that mission. These tools gather data about transportation systems in North Carolina and help us make communities more resilient. It gives the ability to prepare for anticipated hazards, adapt to changing conditions, but most important, recover rapidly from disruptions. The goals are making travel safer and more efficient. Let me give you a couple examples. We're using data and technology to help machines find alternate routes during storms, which is really important. We're working with, NCDOT works with Google Maps and Waze to make sure citizens get the most current data on road closures, alternative routes, so really they can avoid problem areas and make better decisions about their travel. Also, using technology to provide faster responses and assess dangerous travel situations more quickly. For instance, landslides, we get those here in North Carolina. 50 years ago, we would have to go, a person would have to climb on a mountain, right? Imagine, to assess the danger to the traveling public. But today, We fly a drone to perform the same task. It's much faster, there's no risk to people, and it allows for travel, commerce to continue much quicker. So it really serves the marketplace in general. Also, tethered drones. NCDOT is tying drones to incident management patrol vehicles. It allows for quicker, better situational awareness after crashes once they have occurred. But my office, the Office of Civil Rights, is working with our historically Black colleges and universities in technology areas to improve understanding of public transportation. And last, from a communication standpoint, we're using social media tools to target specific groups with safety messages in specific areas like geofencing. So really each day our agency's leadership receives updated data to provide a real-time dashboard of metrics about how we're performing at the North Carolina Department of Transportation. And this dashboard gives us a snapshot that shows if we're meeting our goals for things as reducing crash fatalities, building and maintaining roads and bridges, reducing DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, wait times, so people can get their driver's license faster. Everyone wins when that happens. But we're also reducing vacancy rates by hiring good, skilled career professionals, delivering projects, and maintaining a healthy cash balance. So dashboards are really important because they enable NCDOT leadership to identify our greatest challenges and make well-informed decisions to solve those problems. It's all about serving the public better and more efficiently. And last, I'll mention that we're also using technology DriveWise that uses algorithms about trucking companies to send direct messages to truckers traveling through North Carolina that tells them if they can bypass a way station. We're a state with a lot of commerce and interstate commerce and freight and logistics. So this is really important as it enables truckers to deliver goods faster. We know Christmas is coming up. We want to make sure that those packages get on time. But it helps states by creating fewer delays and less cost to ship goods.
Those were some great examples. Thank you for sharing that. Next, I'd like to ask, how is NCDOT and its leadership in particular looking at recent technology frameworks and specifically around building responsible AI models to help frame some of the modernization initiatives that you were talking about?
Yes, thank you for asking that. Framing is so important. Artificial intelligence is a powerful tool, but it does present NCDOT leadership with unique challenges. We can and do use new technology to make transportation better, safer, and more efficient for the public we serve. But AI is still in its infancy, so we must be careful to use it appropriately. We are starting to use technology to target our recruiting initiatives, identify disadvantaged populations. For example, we must be careful that AI learning does not create biases and stereotypes that could lead to inequities in how we serve the public. For instance, powerful new tools can help us as we manage the Department of Motor Vehicles system for our 7 million drivers, but we must be careful to ensure these technologies are helping us make responsible decisions so we are not unwittingly discriminating against vulnerable populations. As a state, we play a critical role in ensuring that there are guardrails for innovation. We need to get ahead of ethical issues, data privacy, and algorithm biases. That data is reliable. Misinformation is not spread by building, training, and testing algorithms and models. So really creating that baseline of information in order to inform our work. Constant review of both open and closed data sources. But also most important, we know that having that human-centered approach with integration will be critically important. So our workforce is really the backbone of ensuring that these models and programs are working at its best for the communities that we serve.
And then lastly, what are some of the biggest challenges your agency is looking to overcome right now to deliver better mission outcomes?
Yeah, so some of the challenges that we're looking to overcome is ensuring that all communities have equitable access to transportation. 1 million people do not have reliable transportation in North Carolina. We have the second largest rural population, and we're growing quickly, especially our older population. A growing, aging population needs safe, reliable transportation, and a growing proportion of people want multimodal choices. Our vulnerable road user injuries and fatalities are also increasing. It's very unfortunate, but they are increasing. Our many transportation needs remain unmet for the elderly, the disabled, and really the transportation disadvantaged populations with limited vehicle availability. So NCDOT is providing for more equitable transportation where mobility and access are available by everyone, for everyone. Building complete streets is a big one for us that accommodates bikes, pedestrians, and other vulnerable road users, improving the quality of transit service by offering better on-demand services, but also expanding passenger rail with new services and frequencies. Another important aspect is that we're maintaining the technology to keep up with changing transportation network. More people will be driving autonomous, electric, and connected vehicles in the future. But technology must be sophisticated and interoperable so it can keep up with changing demands and communicate across different software platforms. We can't switch out our entire technologies because there's new technology. It's just not financially feasible. However, technology also has to keep up with increased transportation demands, such as autonomous vehicles. NCDOT also is using federal bipartisan infrastructure law funds. We have $109 million to build out electric charging network on major highways and then in communities. We're testing shuttle vehicles. The Cassie is what we refer to it as in different settings. The most sophisticated pilot program is one we're doing now at UNC Charlotte. And that shuttle interacts with traffic signals and operates in the most intense mixed traffic environment. And that includes other vehicles and shared stops within the existing campus bus fleet. We're responding to disruptive events that happen once in a generation, like COVID brought about widespread teleworking. But there was also some pros to that. Teleworking has helped by spreading demand on the system during peak travel periods. But it means more people in rural area and remote areas have greater need for high-speed internet. So in the last decade, NCDOT has been sort of thrust into the broadband business. Now we're installing broadband along our transportation infrastructure. NCDOT is building out 600 plus miles of broadband to better connect rural and urban areas and to enable vehicles of the future to communicate with the wireless network and other vehicles. Our next disruptive event is self-driving vehicle or unmanned drone taxis. We need machines, autonomous cars and trucks to communicate with each other so system is safe for people. We're testing autonomous vehicles. We're working with universities in North Carolina to prepare for these changes, but also transportation systems must be responsive to climate change. I cannot reiterate that enough, responsive to climate change. Climate change means we're facing more intense storms, stronger hurricanes, more rain and winds, and more winter storms. So what are we doing? We're working to improve travel during these storms. We're doing the work to make our roads safer. Flood hazard modeling that helps prepare for, respond, and recover more quickly from extreme flood events. We are using network of river gauges, forecast, and models to predict when roads and bridges will be flooded. We can better inform our first responders, that NCDOT maintenance crews, so that they can rapidly deploy resources where needed. Allows us to warn the public of changing conditions and really where to avoid traveling. We're building better bridges to be able to withstand extreme weather. Bridges being repaired by attaching fiber-enforced polymer system to existing concrete beams, which allows the bridges to withstand the heavier loads and storms, reduce traffic delays. We've been doing this for over a year. So be on the lookout, expect research that will make bridges safer and more sustainable.
Well, it sounds like a lot of exciting initiatives underway in North Carolina. Tunya Smith, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share some of those with us and also to discuss the process of integrating AI into state government operations. I really appreciate those insights. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.